If you're tired of open world games and still want to get hours out of something, then look no further than the minimalist game design of 12 Minutes, a compact puzzle game set in a time loop that's sure to eat away hours of your life. And as it does that, your liquefied brain is going to run down your ears. See, 12 Minutes is one of those puzzle games best described as an absolute mindfuck, and it's the ease with which such a small game achieves this that impresses me. The concept of this game reveals itself pretty quickly. You start off in the corridor of an apartment building. There are 3 doors, and one of them's your apartment. Obviously, natural game design would put it right at the end. However, I had to check that that was the case first. Is this my house?
Oh.
Fuck off.
Sorry, neighbors.
Is this my house?
Wonder if anyone's ever gonna rent this unit.
Okay, that's decided then. The door was locked, which was a bit of a pain in the neck. However, there was a key in the flower pot and a fake rock, which I proceeded to spend the next 15 minutes trying to figure out how to use.
Oh, these are for the front door. Oh, these are for the front door. Oh, these are for the front door.
Safe to say at first, the controls are a little bit on the jarring side. By the time I finally accessed the apartment, I was surprised that I didn't give my presents away. This is the point where the game introduced me to my wife, who was simply just named Wife. She came over and told me she made dessert, however my mind had already set itself on the knife I found on the kitchen counter. She was too busy reading Nothing on the couch and didn't seem the least bit concerned that I'd stabbed myself. Just kidding, I didn't do that in my first loop, that would have been absurd. At this point I hadn't broken the game yet and my wife was reading an actual physical book. However, instead of playing the evening out to begin with, I just decided to go into the bedroom and go to sleep. Next thing I know, Jeff Bezos is at the door. Fuck me. When I made a complaint to Amazon customer service, I never expected it to come this far. You there, I would like a refund. And now the game's concept has revealed itself. You're trapped in a time loop. The same 12 minutes over and over again. How to break it? Who knows? I suppose at this point we've just got to figure out how to save wife from Agent 47. Although she gave away that I was hiding in the cupboard and for all I care she can fucking die. You can try to explain to her that you're trapped in a time loop. However, just like anyone else, she just assumes there was something dodgy in your cornflakes. Before I could effectively prove to her that I was trapped in a time loop, Hitman came back. So I decided to sit in the chair in the corner of the bedroom and await my fate. I've been expecting you. Let me finish my fucking speech, you son of a bitch. Turns out Overlord Bezos is looking for an expensive watch. Sir, what do you mean? We don't even have a television. Oh, he's killing me again. As you go, you become desensitized to the traumatic experience that you're forced to relive. But you feel a sense of urgency to solve the puzzle that the game is throwing at you. You know you won't get it all at once, but as you learn more and more, you can use it to your advantage in future loops. Wife, get out of my way. I need a shit.
Great.
It's around this point where I started to notice one of the more obvious flaws with 12 Minutes. It's a small game in which you're trapped in a time loop and you're trying to figure out how everything connects and what to do to try to break the loop. However, there are some things that you cannot try to do that you would try to do, and sometimes you think there'll be an interesting point to bring up in dialogue that's simply not an option, such as convincing your wife to tell Mr. Worldwide that you're not in. A positive, on the other hand, being you can reset the loop early either by finding a way to kill yourself or by simply leaving the apartment, meaning you don't have to learn to live with any mistakes if you make them, and can reset the loop on a whim. So if you decide you want to tackle the situation a different way, you don't have to wait to be able to do that. What if I hide before my wife leaves the bathroom? Then she won't know I'm here. Oh yes, this is genius. I like this method. The positive is you can see how this scene plays out as if you're not there. You can also learn where that bloody watch is. The negative, Jeff Bezos murders my wife.
No.
That's a shame. At least she left dessert. This game pushes you to get creative in tackling the problem it wants you to solve. For example, you could hide in the shower out of sight. Heisenberg still finds you. He can see through walls and shit. It's pretty mad. Now you've got to do some next level outside the box problem solving here. And if you don't feel like you can figure it out, just go back to basics and play the evening out like you're not in a time loop.
I'm pregnant. We're having a baby.
It's in moments like this where you've just got to ask yourself, what would you do? She doesn't know that I've murdered her 16 times. I wonder what will happen if I phone Satan. The funny aspect of this game comes from the fact that if you commit to not breaking the loop, there are no consequences to your actions. And even if you don't expect it, even the most ridiculous of variations of the loop can yield new information. It can also endlessly confuse the intruder, which is pretty entertaining.
What the?
And if you play it right, you can outsmart the intruder and capture him. Hey, look at that. I've broken the loop. I've killed the intruder and saved my wife. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Emergency services.
Hi, I stabbed my wife.
Officers will be there shortly. They should be there in 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's great. See you then. God! Fucking how hard is that? I can't even get that right.
Eventually, despite the madness, you start to work it into your rhythm, even if it seems ridiculous. You start to figure out what will happen and how to trigger it, and that way you can lay traps for the intruder. Or you could use this knowledge to find other information that might help you understand why on earth you're in this loop to begin with, and what you need to do to be able to break it. And half of the puzzle is figuring that out, because it doesn't make that clear. But eventually through the trial and error you start to understand when you're looking in the right direction. And this keeps the problem solving aspect enjoyable, as you might not be breaking the loop and you might not even be close, but every single run feels rewarding, like you're picking up new information that you may be able to use later on. But just as you think you've cracked it, think again. At first you think the objective of the game is to find a way to save your wife, but actually no. The objective of the game is to find out what this time loop is trying to get you to see. Though I suppose that can be frustrating when all you're seeing is this guy's really shiny bald head over and over again. But it's amazing just how much story can be told from 3 tiny rooms filled with limited information based on how you use it. And because of how the game's structured, you never feel like the answer is too far away or too difficult to grasp, because it's not. And that's how 12 minutes keeps you engaged in the loop. It impressively tells a hefty story in a tiny game. It masters its own concept to weave all these twists and turns into 3 small rooms, and these rooms also contain the puzzle. As you pick up information, you unlock in-game prompts, but you also figure it out mentally for yourself. You suss out the environment, and the storytelling gradually gets broader and broader based on what information reveals itself to you based on what you do. And it's through that and the trial and error aspect that you finally find a means to escape the loop. But even then the game isn't done fucking your mind, and the plot twists continue. Wait, Captain Chemo has hair now. I wouldn't say the final revelation makes sense of the entire story, it doesn't explain how it began. To find out how it began, you have to explore that as you try to figure out how to break the loop. But the ending throws a twist at you so mad that you're glad that you murdered your pregnant wife 25 times. Makes you feel bad for killing Pitbull though. Just kidding, fuck him. All in all, 12 minutes is a game that makes you appreciate that not all games have to be massive, big budget, open world experiences, and even the smallest, most niche of games can provide hours upon hours of fun. 12 minutes is a tiny game, but it took me around 4 hours to finish. It's not without its issues. Sometimes I think it's a touch more ridiculous than it's trying to be, and it's also not without its hilarious bugs.
I have a daughter.
He came back, said he had a daughter and died. Nonetheless, this game is a work of art, and it's one that I definitely highly recommend. So if you're bored and looking for something different to play, then don't discount this game, because I think it's 100% worth your time. Which I suppose brings us to the end of my review for this game, if that's what you want to call this video.
Babe? Ooh, shit. I know that really hurts. I'm sorry.
So, if you've played this game, be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. Thank you all for watching. I really hope that you've enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff. That will be super fantastic, of course, if you want to. If you want to see me play more games like this, be sure to go over and follow me on Twitch, where I tend to stream my experiences. The chats are always a right laugh, and if you want to become a part of that, then be sure to follow the link in the description and check it out for yourself. I also left a sneaky Big Jack somewhere in this video for you to go ahead and find. Be sure to comment the timestamp if you find him to give yourself a pat on the back. Why is it Big Jack, you ask? I couldn't think of anything else. Anyway, with any luck, I'll hopefully be seeing you all very soon with another video at some point. Who knows, if you check out my Twitch, I may see you over there. But until next time, of course, take care and goodbye.